Get rid of liberals! The best part is while they're driving by, right? This is how you know a liberal. They drive by and I'm like, yeah, you know, America. They drive by and what do? They give me the finger, right? That's all. It's all good though. It's all good. It's America. You hate my guts because I'm a guy that believes in the Constitution and freedom. That's all. That's all good. Because you're gonna lose in the end. You're gonna lose. America's all about freedom. It's about capitalism. It's about people being able to do whatever the hell they want to do because it's their God-given right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do it in New Jersey, too. Here we go. We're going to make New Jersey great again. Put New Jersey first for once, baby. I'm Matt Riccardi, the independent candidate for the governor of New Jersey this year. You go ahead and you check me out. I'm not a Republicrat. I'm an independent. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran, Ivy League alum, 30-year-old father of 3 who's sick and tired of the nonsense, and I'm ready to fight for it. I'm not gonna vote for the lesser of two evils anymore. You've got one from one side, one from the other, and their plan is to do the same thing. It's to bankrupt the public, to tax them to the high heavens, to put us in debt, to not educate our kids properly, and to allow anarchy to go on, as opposed to the Constitution. I stand for the Constitution. I stand for freedom. I stand for people. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, as long as you identify as an American and a citizen and a resident of New Jersey, I'll stand for you, I'll fight for you. From Camden to Atlantic City to Union City to Middletown to Sussex County, all over New Jersey, I'll fight 100%. I'm a Marine, that's all I know how to do. I'm the only one that's talking about the real drug problem that's going on in New Jersey. It's not heroin, it's the pharmaceutical company that's paying Chris Christie, Cory Booker, and Robert Menendez, and everybody else that's in between. I'm the only guy that's got a solution to fix that problem. I'm also the only guy that's talking about the sex trafficking problem, the girls and the children that go missing every day in our state that nobody cares about. They don't care about these kids because we're so numb to it from hearing about all this garbage media and all this garbage liberal crap that's taken over our society. I'm the only guy that's talking about it. You won't hear Steve Rogers talking about it. You won't hear Phil Murphy talking about it. You won't hear Guadagno. They don't care. When a child goes missing in our state, we have an Amber Alert. When a person goes missing in our state, we should be putting a task force out there to find them. What happens to a woman in Atlantic City who goes missing? She's 26 years old. She's got 3 kids that live in Middlesex, New Jersey with her that she takes care of. She went away for the weekend, disappeared. Where'd she end up? 2 years later, she was being raped, sexually sodomized, and gangbanged by a bunch of nasty, horrible individuals who kidnapped her and sold her into sex slavery. This happens all over our state every single day, and nobody does anything about it. There is a great nonprofit for dignity. It's in Cumberland or Gloucester County. Fantastic woman named Kelly Smith Master who fights every day to get people, women and children, out of sex trafficking, out of strip clubs, where most of the people that end up there, unfortunately, it's because they were sexually sodomized or abused as children. She goes into strip clubs and gets people out of there. She goes and she transforms their lives. She goes into these strip clubs, covert, talks to the people that are there, talks to these people that have been forced in, a lot of them who are forced through sex trafficking are forced into the porn industry. They don't willfully show up and say, hey, here I am, I want to do porn. What they do is they go and they get an interview for modeling or something like that, and then they're sex trafficked and they're turned out to be porn stars and things like that. We laugh, we make a big joke out of it, but these are human beings. And if you're a politician and you're going to lead this state and this country, you better do so caring about people, about children. You better care about the individuals and not just people that are going to vote for you, not just people that are going to donate. I don't care who votes for me. Check my Facebook page, check my website. You like what I got to say? Here I am. You hate what I have to say? Screw me, don't vote for me, and choose. You always have the lesser of two evils. You've got one Republican and one Democrat. We all need to step up and do our part. If you're going to lead, if you're going to be somebody that's going to make an impact and change the so-called future, you have to care about people each and every single day. You've got to care about people that are here voicing their opinions, whether you agree with them or not. You've got to care about them. We have to care about we care about criminals, right? People that murder people every single day. That people that do all these awful, tragic things that we don't hear about, right? To children and unseemingly to elders. They take advantage of people that are vulnerable. But we sit here and, oh, you know, they deserve 20 years or 10 years and all this other stuff. Why do we care about them more than we care about the people that are suffering every single day with addiction? What
do you think of addiction regarding it's a criminal or a medical issue?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think that it's a medical issue for sure. Look, there's a criminal element to doing certain drugs and how you act as a result, right? But we have to stop putting those people in jail and leaving them in jail to rot and to die. We need to care about them. They're human beings. That's the whole purpose of my candidacy and what I'm trying to get out there.
Legalize marijuana?
Legalize marijuana, that's something that we have to look into, obviously, right? I don't know whether or not the studies, we're focusing on Colorado and on various other states. And obviously, we've heard the case studies about Portugal, so look into Portugal, right? Those are important things to take into it. Constantly incarcerating these people is not a good idea, and just throwing away the key. I know a lot of the stigma is they're druggies, to hell with them, right? People don't want us having to pay for Narcan because Narcan, they're druggies, let them die. They're human beings. You have to care. As a person, you have to care. And if you don't, what have you become? What have we become as a society if you don't care about somebody who thought that they were going to go ahead and they were going to, even if you want to call them all heroin addicts, which is not true, it's a lie, but even if you want to, somebody that goes and they take a hit of heroin, there was a kid upstate, he was a football player, straight A student, right? And his friend offered him heroin one day in school. He said, oh, you know, I'm young, I've never done anything like this before, so he did it. That one hit of heroin killed him. Why? It was filled with fentanyl. Fentanyl, an opiate, 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine. That kid took one hit and he was dead. Why? He was never educated. This state, we have no program that goes into the high schools other than Steered Straight, another fantastic nonprofit. The guy pays all by himself to go into the schools, and he educates these kids about these drugs and their harmful attacks and their effects. He educates them about addiction and what it will do to your life. These are important things that we need to do. This is where our tax dollars, if we're going to put tax dollars into the public, where they need to go, to our youth and to educating people about addiction, about sex trafficking, and about policies that work to help this public climb out of the hole that we're in New Jersey. I support our president 100%, absolutely. Why? Whether you like his policies or not, if you think the guy's a racist or not, that's fine. That's neither here nor there, right? Some people get really deeply invested and involved in that. I don't like none of that stuff. I'm not a big fan of the rhetoric, one way or another. Why am I at a Trump rally? Because I believe that I have to engage people one way or another. I have to engage them. I don't like, this isn't my sign, but I'm holding it. I don't like the Democrats. I think that the Democratic and the Republican parties are both doing the same exact thing. I call them the Republicrats or the Demopublicans for a reason, because they're all involved in the same thing, trying to bankrupt you and me, the public, trying to create policies that don't work for us. Why do you think it's so hard for an independent to run for governor or for office? Because they've created a system where I can't make $10 million to compete with them. But they have such a network throughout this state that it's going to take me out there fighting and talking to people every single day just to try and make a dot, just to get 1%. It's going to take me fighting and clawing every single part of this state, which I'm doing, in order to get 1%. Why? Because they've got their network so built, so invested. They're not running for office with you in mind. They're running for office with this in mind. I got some cards, but with this right here, pockets. They want money. They want to deepen their pockets. How do we know this? If you pay attention and you check the news and you read the media over the last 20, 30, 100 years, you can continually see the same thing over and over again. The corruption.
I would say that the problem with both parties, with most of them, is that, and pay to play, I would say, is a symptom.
Sure.
The real problem is politicians who accept donations from anyone except for individuals.
Agreed. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. And I'm not saying it because I'm an independent and I can't make that kind of money. One of the biggest problems we have in this country, right, is the lobbying that goes on. Pharmaceuticals paying people like Cory Booker, who's a liar, and Chris Christie, who's a dirtbag, and Kim Guadagno, and Phil Murphy, and every other one of these guys that are running around pretending like they care about people. Why is it that they don't ever vote against legislation that empowers pharmaceutical companies? Or why is it on the flip side that they don't vote for legislation that helps the elderly get cheaper medication? Isn't that what it's all about here in Trenton and there in Washington? It's all about saying one thing and then doing another. That's it, each and every time. I'll tell you what, I wish that I could pull out the trick that I have up my sleeve. But for you and for everybody that you connect with, I know I've got this hat on, so a lot of people might say, oh, look at this goofy guy, he's probably a racist because it's a Southern cowboy hat. It's not. I got this hat in Indiana, and this hat was very important to me when I drove through Indiana because it brought out what I believe America is. It's about diversity. And in New Jersey, we're not a lot of cowboys over here. We're a lot of city folk. So I love this hat. It's a patriotic hat. I'm an American. But the point that I'm leading with is give me an opportunity. And when June 6th comes for you and for everybody that you reach out to, give me an opportunity if you're watching or if you're going to look back on this. Give me an opportunity because I've got a trick up my sleeve that's going to punch both the Democrats and the Republicans in the stomach, and it's going to drop them pretty hard. And that's a guaranteed fact. And when I do bring that trick out, you guys are all going to know and you're going to remember exactly what it is that I'm talking about. It's part of strategy. It's part of strategy. And I can say it because they don't care about me. The Republicans and the Democrats are like, this guy he commands no audience. Don't worry about him. Do worry about me. Don't worry about me now. It's fine. Do worry, because I've got something very powerful that's going to make them spin, and they're not going to be able to keep up with it. We're going to use their strengths and turn them into weaknesses, and that's how we're going to win, and that's how we're going to get to Trenton. But the fact of the matter is words and actions should dictate. That's what leadership is. Leadership is not a title; it's actions. Actions that speak a lot louder than words. And what you hear today from me, you're going to see in action the entire time, whether I get 1% of your vote or whether I get 40 or 50% of your vote. You will see it the entire way from today all the way until November, because I'm not giving up, because I've got a future, I've got children who have a future, and I love people. Even the ones that have given me the finger out here not knowing anything about me today, even the ones that gave me a finger, I still love them. I care about people. This is a human issue. It's not a political issue. But the people that stand out there, like Steve Rogers unfortunately just did before, and they sit there and they bloviate and they tell everybody about this or that, you're getting it wrong. It's not a political thing. It's a human thing. We need to fix this issue on a human level. Because if we can't, what does that say about the prospects of our future?